What's going on? How's everybody doing? Welcome to channel 121. If this is your first time logging in, this is a small monthly podcast, a quiet space, a place to slow down. Honestly, it's just a space for honest conversation about life rooted in scripture. Um, Before I get started, I want to share something personal, a little shout out, really. Happy birthday to Anna Sophia, who's turning 8 years old today. I remember back in 2020, no, 2018 in Pearland. I was a nervous person waiting to meet you. You've completely turned my life upside down, and I thank God every day for you. So happy birthday, Sophia. Also, the Houston Rockets beat the San Antonio Spurs 111 to 106. Big comeback win at home. After what happened with the Texans, man, I'll take that kind of energy any day. So shout out to the Houston Rockets. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started, man. It's wild to say this out loud, but this time last year, I sat in this very same space, same season, same month, with a very different heart. I remember growing up, I used to always talk myself into a theme, right, or some kind of saying. um, I was listening to Robert Badu out of Dallas, Texas, who also kind of said something the same thing, right? He mentioned some kind of declarations that his church were having. As he mentioned that in 2022, God's going to do it for you. In 2023, God's going to give you the victory. In 2024, you're going to get more. In 2025, you're coming alive. And he mentioned that in 2026, everything's going to be fixed. And yeah, man, I believe that God still moves. I believe that still He does miracles on a daily basis. I believe that He restores. But this year, I feel like God is pulling me in a different direction, right? And that's gratitude. 2025 for me and my family was a roller coaster, man, aka the Texas Cyclone. High of the highs and low of the lows. Some prayers were answered and some were delayed. Some doors were open that I am pretty sure should have were meant to be closed. Again, this episode is going to be a little bit different, man. Just straight to the point, because I really feel like this message that I have is not just for me anymore. If that makes any sense. If I had to summarize it in one word, it would be entitlement. I was just expecting things to happen in my life. I was expecting things to happen for me for what I did for myself. I was expecting things just to just show up in my life. And I was taking a lot of things for granted. In the middle of last year, I was forced to make a decision. I wasn't really ready for a career change, not because I wanted to or not because I was prepared for it, because staying there was no longer an option for me. And it's not something that was coming here. It was something that God was putting in me. And to be quite honest, I knew something was coming. Even in 2025, I'm coming alive. I just felt that this year was going to be, a challenge year. Um, I felt it long before it happened. God has been nudging me even from the middle part of 2024, just preparing me, right? And I was very nervous, and that's when I started working harder, staying later. Um, and I almost felt like I was entitled to a lot of the extra work that I was doing, and I wasn't being recognized for it, right? And this is not just in my career, but just in general, right? Being a father, being a husband, being a brother, or being a son. I started comparing myself, and slowly, it challenged my trust. It exposed the attachment to comfort that I had at that time. It revealed that my expectations didn't really even was delivering what I thought at that time was meant for me, right? And yet, looking back at it now, man, I can honestly say that God was delivering me from a sense of entitlement, right? If that decision had not happened in the middle of last year in my career, I would not be standing in the blessings that I am now. The difference is day and night. It feels as if God was reaching into my life and just removing from a place that I no longer belong and switch spots with me, man. That's the best way I can describe it. He placed me somewhere I never thought I was worthy of, becoming a father, becoming a husband. All of those things. I always knew and felt deep down inside that God was placing me in a place where I was trying to talk myself out of many, many years ago. What actually felt like loss was actually in alignment with God. And that season taught me this truth: to avoid the trap of entitlement, you have to intentionally cultivate gratitude. And gratitude doesn't always come naturally, right? Especially if you're busy at work, at home, being a parent. Entitlement is a focused form of pride, in my opinion. It narrows your vision until all you can see is what you think you're owed. But hope and expectation, the healthy kind, focus on what is possible through God and not what's owed by him. One of the biggest shifts I had to make was learning to separate expectation from appreciation. Expectations without appreciation always leads to entitlement. Before asking God what's next, I had to stop and thank him for what had already been, what I had become, what I had at home, what I had in my career, what's in my driveway, what's my health, right? Nobody takes their health serious until it becomes their health that is an issue. For the doors he opened, and yes, for even the ones he closed, because sometimes a closed door isn't a rejection, it's a protection, in my opinion, in your careers. Another shift was that I had to learn was focus on the giver. I was reaping the benefits of my career, of my health, right? And bypassing the giver. Over time, miracles kind of became normal, right? And normal becomes expected, and expected becomes assumed. So I adopted this mantra: nobody's owed anything. Jesus gave it all. That sentence really just kind of changed my posture. Right around this time in the episode, I will really want to share this verse here with you
Luke
guys.
chapter 14 verse 11. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted.
That verse isn't about punishment, it's about love. God doesn't humble us to harm us, He humbles us to lift us. He doesn't move us to abandon us. He repositions us because He can see the things that you cannot see. I also learned that my complaints were really clues, man, of how I was feeling about myself, about my career, about my health. Those clues showed me what I felt entitled to. So I started, flipping the script. Traffic became a gratitude for having a car. Inconvenience became perspective. Silence revealed how often entitlement tries to speak. And something shifted, man. Entitlement asks, why am I not being honored? Why am I not getting what I deserve? So I changed it, man. Gratitude. Who can I serve? Who can I help? And then honestly, man, peace followed that question. Before we close, man, I would just honestly want to leave you with this. If you feel overlooked, if you feel displaced, if you feel like God moved you out of something you work hard to build, please hear this. God's love has not left you. His plans have not left you. Humility isn't thinking less of yourself. It's trusting God enough to place yourself fully in his hands. The same God that's allowed us, to shift is the same God that brings, that elevation in our lives. So wherever you are right now, man, just breathe, thank him, trust him. You are seen, you are loved, and you are exactly where you need to be in 2026. Remember, the declaration this year is that in 2026, everything's going to be fixed. I'm praying for you. I'm pulling for you. Um, the blessings that are coming your way. Just remember the verse, man. Luke 14, Luke chapter 14, verse 11. That kind of says it all. So until next time, I've been praying for you. Stay out of trouble. Stay blessed. See ya.